I'm Chrissy, and I'm a Type 4 learner. Uh, I really thought I'd be a Type 1 learner when I first took the test. I was like, why am I paying $11.50 to be told that I'm a Type 1 learner because I already know. And I took the test and I'm a Type 4. And it's kind of suiting. Now, here on this diagram, you can see where I lie on the learning chart, and it's where it says right here, it's the yellow part. And I remember going through, especially elementary and middle school, I would ask if all the time, what if this happened, what if that happened, and my teachers would be like, well, that's not going to happen, this is the only way. And I was the kind of kid that would do it anyways, and then I'd be in front of the teacher and I'd say, well, I already did it this way and it worked this way. And my teachers hated me for that. So I had a pretty hard time in subjects like math, chemistry, history, well, basically anything but choir. I wasn't good at memorizing things. I got all A's, but as soon as I learned what I had to learn, I took the test and then I forgot about it. I would always get A's in class, and I'd always get a C on all my finals, just because I studied, but it just didn't stick. It was gone as soon as it came. Something I read about Type 4s is that they like to relate everything they learn to themselves, and that's really true. I like to read about all kinds of things. I like fantasy novels, and I like to put myself in that situation, and I like to put myself into the storyline, and that's kind of creepy, but that's also how I learned history. Unless I was being tested, I would put myself in that situation, and I used to love doing that. I used to love seeing how I would be in the 60s, and what kind of house I would have, and things like that. Something I do really well is work under pressure. I usually give myself more of a workload than I can handle, and sometimes that just gives me that extra jump I need to get it all done. An example of that was high school. In high school, I was in the show choir, the women's choir, and the concert choir. I was women's choir president my senior year, and I was also in the color guard. I was color guard captain my senior year. I was also in the winter guard, and I single-handedly started the winter guard, and I was also captain of that, obviously. And I was also the speaker and representative for Woodbridge High School at the school board meetings. In addition to that, I did things like Relay for Life, I did empty bowls, and a bunch of other stuff. I was always involved, and my mom would get so mad at me because I was always so stressed, but that was really the way I worked, and it's the way I'm always going to work. I multitask really well. I love to do different things while I'm learning. Like, for example, in Histo, I like to pay my bills, and I still take my notes, and I'm still learning, and it helps a lot more. Another thing I do really well is trying new things. I love trying new foods. I love trying new things in the classroom. I'm always forcing my friends to try new things, and they hate me for it, but eventually they do like it. I get along well with all kinds of groups of people. I am terrible with names. You're probably going to have to tell me your name about 10 times before I remember it, and then I'll probably remember it wrong. I wasn't good at studying details. I would always get the big picture, but any kind of specific question I would answer wrong. Another thing I do pretty badly is keeping level-headed before I act. I usually act first, think later, and act on emotion before I keep myself calm. As a Type 4 teacher, I will encourage my students to follow their dreams, and I will encourage them to be more creative. I will also encourage them to join all kinds of after-school activities because I love that in high school, and I think it builds character. Something I really want to work on is being more organized and less scattered, so I can always be there in a solid rock for my students. As a music teacher, I really feel like you have to keep kids motivated. They get discouraged easily, and if you know all 4 learning types, you know what they need. If you know how every one of your students learn, you know your classroom will be an encouraging and safe environment for musical growth. Overall, I'm a pretty scattered person. It's kind of like organized chaos, I want to say. If you ask me what day of the week it is, I probably won't know. If you ask me what time it is, I probably won't know. And I have to look at my schedule all the time. That's why I have it everywhere. I have it on my phone, I have it on my laptop, it's my screensaver. Some people have a picture of their mom or their friends. My picture is my schedule. I also have it on my wall, and I also have it by my bed. So I know what I have to do to keep myself organized, and I'm still working on it, but hopefully I'll get there.